All right, so let's get rolling. The first thing we're going to talk about this mega episode is supporting coaches. Supporting coaches when you're in player development. Coaches are dealing with so much pressure, right? And you can say, oh, well, they're getting paid the money. They are at certain places, not all places. There are certain places they are making a lot of money. They have all these pressures, right? They have the pressures to perform. Coaches overall have more pressure to perform because more money's involved, be that coaching salary, be that the roster. Coaches, that 5-year, 6-year contract and all you get, they ain't getting that. I'm shocked ADs don't sign 3-year contracts, or some of these coaches don't sign 3-year contracts. But you deal with all this pressure. You have that pressure. You have contract insecurity. Once again, you can have a 5-year contract. They'll get you up out of there. They will let you go. For coaches, your contract isn't as long as the head coach. Maybe you're on a 2-year contract. You're doing well, and you don't know if the head coach is going to bring you back. Or you're like me, and you sign 1-year contracts. Big mistake I made. And you're like, all right, I know we're going to win. He's about to get a raise. Is he going to pay me? Am I going to be back? Right. So there's a lot of insecurity there. You have family stress. When these transitions happen, when you're on the hot seat, or when your coach is about to go to the next place, right? And you're with either in the hot seat or you're with the coach that's on everybody's hot list to bring them there. And it's just like you're dealing with family stress. You're dealing with the stresses of, okay, what are the kids hearing at school, right? What is my spouse hearing? My wife, what is she hearing at work? Or what is my family hearing? My mom's hitting me up. My brothers are hitting me up. People hearing, my friends, right? You have this stress where people are looking out for you. They want what's best for you, but you have this stress that can be added to what you're already dealing with. Then you got social media, right? Social media noise. To stay away from social media, you literally cannot have social media. But a coach has to have social media to recruit, to interact with athletes or players that they're recruiting. And so you have to have some type of social media. And social media noise is real. People can tag coaches. They can tag coaches. Social media is super real. I worked with a coach who, after games, he would literally come in and he would get on his phone and search his name just to see what people were saying. And I was like, I wouldn't do that, right? But people can get to him, right? Maybe you're trying to see a text message from your wife and you got so-and-so saying, hey, you're trash. I hope they fire you. Or, hey, so-and-so, you need to come to our university. Or, hey, we got, come here. So the social media noise is there. And then you have expectations. You have expectations of fans. When money gets involved, when people are putting their money, boosters and companies, organizations, however the money gets there, right? We could do a whole episode on that. But when that money gets there, there's expectations. You have expectations from fans. You have expectations from the entire university based off what other coaches are doing. Kurt Cignetti is doing a lot of great stuff at Indiana. He's turned Indiana around like that, right? And now you got other coaches that are like ADs and presidents and boosters are looking at these coaches like, hey, you can flip it like he can, right? So you have these expectations. Some of them are unrealistic expectations and some you put on yourself. And so coaches deal with all this, and we in the player development role have an opportunity to support coaches, have a great opportunity to support coaches. That stress that coaches get, that stuff is real. Like I've seen coaches gain weight, lose weight, gray out, fall out, just look miserable. And so we have an opportunity to support. So here are four ways you can support coaches during this time of transition. Number one, when I was in the role, you can support coaches and be a support by supporting their family members. Now, how can you do this? Communication. So when I was in the role, families would come to me for tickets. They would come for me for other things. And so I would, as best as I could, get as much questions that the families may have had for the coach outside of personal questions, but anything that had to do with the program. Where are you guys going to be? Where's the gate here? Where do I get the tickets? Where do I pick up the tickets? What hotel are y'all staying in? Any of that stuff, questions that families had, I tried as much as I could to help operations. And there was one point when one of our coaches, shout out to Texas Tech football, and Coach Joey McGuire went from Baylor to Texas Tech University, and my guy Quinn Jordan, shout out to Quinn Jordan, man. Quinn Jordan's one of the best doing it, man. He is legit. He is legit, man. Hey, he is legit. I learned so much from Q. Hey, Texas Tech, give that man the bags. Give him all the bags. But Q went to Texas Tech, and so he's doing operations, and so I had to help in operations. He was preparing me for it as well. And he was like, hey, Ed, can you do this? So I learned to help in communication with family members. And so that was one way to support, because coaches would literally just come in and be like, hey, here's my wife's number, or here's my son's number, or here's my daughter's number. They have questions. Can you answer it right now? I'm like, well, that ain't my job, right? And so I was able to help some coaches. A lot of coaches were able to alleviate some stress. And a lot of them really appreciated that they knew that their families could reach out to me about things pertaining to football. So that's one way that you can support coaches. You can go out there and say, hey, coach, don't worry about it. Whatever it is, I'll support. And I used to send messages, emails, or text messages to the family members, like whoever was a point of contact. Hey, this is what's going on this week. And you can do a weekly review, or weekly preview, I should say, of everything that's going on, so you can support coaches that way. Number 2. Now, before we get going any deeper, I want to talk to you about the 2026 Player Development Summit. The 2026 Player Development Summit will be in Detroit, Michigan. We are so excited. What up, though, to be there. And this will be a gathering of player development, athlete development professionals who are coming together, and we are growing, we're networking, we're partnering to continue to ensure that the enhancement of the athlete experience will continue even long when we're gone. Now, if you like a gathering like that, there's information in the show notes. And if you want to sponsor that, if you're a company that wants to get an athlete in front of athlete development professionals because you have a service that can help, or if you're like, hey, I want to hire athletes. We're a company, we like athletes, we want to hire athletes. Or if you want to give to a cause, right? You're just like, hey, it's the holidays. You're like, hey, I got some money. I want to do some things. I want to give to a cause. You can sponsor the 2026 Player Development Summit. All that information is in the show notes. You can give coaches a heads up on changes. That goes a long way. Giving coaches a heads up. They are back there watching film. They're recruiting. If you can give them a heads up on things that are happening, be it, hey, man, I'm hearing this with this, right? Or let's say if you're on the hot seat and they're out there recruiting, or they're in there watching film, you say, hey man, just want to let y'all know so-and-so is going to be here. Like, they got some boosters walking around at 2:00. Just want to make sure everybody knows. Just give a heads up. If I knew things, I wasn't going to hold anything back. I worked with somebody early in my career who would always want to hold stuff back so he can go to the meeting with the stuff so he can look good. That wasn't me. I was like, man, that's not good, because you get on the nerves of the coaches, right? Like, man, let us know. So you give them a heads up. Or if it's transition where a coach is headed to the next school, there could be some conversations. Hey, just want to give y'all a heads up. This blah, 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 blah. There's this reporter, or these people, or those people you see at practice. They're all kind of this. Just giving coaches a heads up. We had a situation where I was at one university where some coaches were on the road. They were recruiting, and one of the coaches who was on the road recruiting was he was in the running to be the head coach of the university. And so there were things we were doing on campus and things we had to get done, and he didn't know what was going on. So he would call me and be like, hey, what's going on? And so I'll be like, hey man, this is what's going on. I'll give you a heads up from here on out. He's like, hey, was the AD around? What are you seeing? Like, what are you hearing? What's going on? He's on the road. There's other coaches on the road. Like, hey, what's going on back at the facility, man? Like, are you seeing other coaches coming in to interview? Like, what are you seeing? And these are people who I built relationships with. So you're giving them a heads up on, hey, this, that report you may have read on Scoop, that's not real. Or this thing you may have seen on Twitter, that's not real. Or, hey, so-and-so's in here, man. He's in the building. And so just giving coaches a heads up, right? It's a way you can support them. Heads up on this. Hey, coach, heads up. We got an all-staff meeting when you get back. Don't miss it, right? Those are heads up. Now, walking into that, the third thing is reminders. You can remind coaches. Give them reminders. So you're reminding them of things that have to happen, right? I always support coaches all the time. Coaches can get just really into their work, and going back to that all-staff meeting or meetings like that. Coaches can dive and be, hey, coach, we got a meeting. I would always pop up. One thing I do at Baylor, and even with other universities I use, when we go staff meeting, I would just say out loud as I was going, headed to the staff meeting, headed to the staff meeting, headed to the staff meeting. So I'm just giving them a reminder, like, hey, we got a staff meeting, or hey, coach, reminder, we got this, mandatory training we got to go to, or hey, coach, we got this, right? Very, very similar to heads up. Heads up is more relational, like, hey, here's a heads up, blah, blah, blah. Reminders can be to everyone. Hey, here's a reminder of this. Hey, coach, reminder, we have player development program in here. Your players need this. Hey, coach, reminder, your players have these tests, or coach, so-and-so's birthday is coming up, right? You can give coaches reminders. Those are ways to help these coaches, right? Give them reminders. Hey, hey, coach, reminder, you might want to put something out on social. You ain't put nothing out in a while. Like, recruits are looking. Hey, coach, you got this recruit coming on. You might want to stop by. Hey, coach, this high school coach coming to practice, right? So there's like reminders. Reminders and heads up can be very, very similar, but also give reminders in staff meetings. So you're sitting in a staff meeting with entire staff. Hey, everyone, how you doing? Just want to give you a reminder. This is happening. This is happening. Here's opportunity. There's former players coming, right? So you can have those things there as well. And then the fourth way that you can support coaches is encouragement and relationship building, right? Encouragement, man. These coaches coach. These coaches coach. I remember when I was at Baylor University, our offensive line coach, Eric Mateos, did an incredible job. Like you could see our offensive line go from day one of spring to the last day of spring. Like you could see the change. And just telling them like, hey, man, you've done an incredible job. I've noticed you've done an incredible job with the offensive line. I think you've done an incredible job, right? And it's, you just work there. You build relationships with coach. Hey, coach, how are you doing, man? Like, you're in that building all the time. Some coaches don't want to build relationships. Hey, I'm not here to force anything on anybody. But there are a lot of coaches you can build relationships with and encourage. Hey, coach, defense looking good. Hey, coach, I like the way you communicate. One of my favorite coaches I work with, he's actually with the Detroit Lions right now, Caleb Collins. And when I was at Baylor, Caleb was a young coach, just finishing, but he communicated so well. He communicated so well to the point where I would watch the drill. I felt like I was a player. I felt like I could do what he was coaching them to do. I knew I couldn't do it, but I felt like I could. I remember I talked to him afterwards one day. I said, hey, man, Caleb, just want to let you know, man, like, you are an elite communicator. I don't know if you know that, but you communicate this so well. When I look at drills, you don't have to re-coach. You don't have to reteach things because you communicate so well. So you can have that encouragement. And me and him built a relationship. Shout out to Caleb, man. I'm excited for him. He's with the Lions. Caleb actually sat in on when I spoke at the AFCA. He's sitting there as I'm talking about player development. And he's like writing all these notes. And he's like, man, thank you so much for that. He's going to lead a program at some time, programmer team. And I'm excited to have that relationship. He's like, man, I'm using all of this. So you could build relationships with people and you'd be shocked like how you build relationships. I always find people, what city you from, whatever it may be, if they're around, hey, coach, I'm about to go grab some dinner. You want something? Or, hey, I'm going to go to the calf, or the training table. You want something? Hey, coach, I got some water. You want some water? Chop it up with them, right? Encourage them. These coaches are coaches. They're people too. Now, once again, some do not want relationships. Some of them are, can be cantankerous, rigid, difficult. That's fine. You still could encourage them. Encouragement has nothing to do with who that person is. Now, relationship building, you got to be smart on that. So there are 4 ways right there to support a coaching staff. Now, whether it's transition or not, supporting coaches goes a long way in player development. Whether you are transitioning, let's say you're on a hot seat or you're going to the next school, or you're in a place where you're good, everybody's good, you're going to be there for a while, supporting coaches goes a long way. Some of the best relationships I have to this day outside of support staff, people are coaches. I can call up coaches whenever. Hey, man, how you doing? I'm in the city. Can I come by the facility? Absolutely. Hey, I'm in the city. I want to come to the game. Coaches randomly just hit me up. I had some coaches call me the other day, right? And it's tough. It's interesting because I haven't talked to some of them daily as much, but having those relationships go a long way.